Welcome to the Alcohol in Daily Life Study, also called the Thoughts and Behaviors in Daily Life Study. My name is Margaret. I'm on the study team. I will get you all set up today and orient you to the app and the study. This is our contact information. We'll also put it on the last slide for you. So while I orient you to the study, go ahead and download the XBWell app and create an account. Please note that we, the study team, don't have access to your account information. Also, please note for the password, don't use special characters, just numbers and letters. So while you're going ahead and downloading the XBWell app, let's look at the study structure. This is the same as what we just looked at in the consent form, and it's the entire study on one slide. So we start off with today, where we do the demo survey together. And because you did the demo survey today, tomorrow starts the daily surveys. Daily surveys are exactly the same survey as the demo survey. You'll receive 4 a day. These surveys are very short, roughly 2 minutes in length. Maybe at the very beginning it'll take a little bit longer to get used to them, but once you're used to them, they'll take about 2 minutes survey. We do expect there will be times when you have to miss a survey. So you complete the study if you complete 90 or more of the surveys. So in 28 days, if you're at 90 surveys, you're all done. If you're at fewer, as long as you've done at least 50% of the surveys, we'll give you a time extension. That extension can be up to 2 weeks. The reason for the extension is we want to pay you. The study is funded to pay you, and we want to spend those funds, and we want to spend them on paying you. This is the payment structure. Please give us 3 days to check your data and pay you. Notice the bonus payment here. The way the study is set up, you should be receiving bonus payments. Within a month after completing the study, we'll email you your personal feedback report. This is personalized. This is why we're doing this study. Okay, we want to do a big study on personalized feedback reports, which is why we're doing the smaller study first. We know everyone is different, and we really want to understand the range of experiences with alcohol and thoughts and feelings throughout the day. As a reminder, you have the right to terminate the study at any time. Starting tomorrow, you'll get 4 notifications between 9:30 a.m. and 11:59 p.m. You have 45 minutes to complete each survey. That's because we're anticipating that there's going to be times where you're driving or you're rushing out the door to go somewhere. We're hoping that within 45 minutes, you can take 2 minutes to answer the survey. Ideally, you would do it right away when you get the notification. But you do have this time buffer if you need it. You'll notice when you start to fill out the daily surveys, I don't think this is true for the demo one, that the survey is going to automatically move to the next question as you select your answer. So that saves you some time. If you accidentally hit a number before you're ready, hit the wrong answer, just use the back button. Please answer carefully and honestly. Just take those few minutes and think about your experience in the moment. Without you doing that, we won't be able to give you a personalized report that makes any sense, and that's needed also for the gift card. The reason we're doing this study is because every person on this team is both a researcher and a therapist, including me. So we know that thoughts of death, suicide, other thoughts, other feelings, these can go along with drinking, but the daily context, your emotions, your thoughts, your different experiences throughout the day, these can be protective or these can be a risk. So in this study, we're trying to gather details about drinking and your thoughts throughout the day when it's fresh in your mind. So you're very crucial to this study being a success when you're willing to take just a few minutes to fill out questions about the last few hours of your day. And we very much hope that this will help other people as well. So hopefully the app is downloaded by now. So the next step is to check notifications. This is very important. If we don't do this, the study won't work properly. So let's go to your phone setting app, notifications. Let's just make sure that your phone can get notifications. So, that you haven't selected all notifications off. And then let's look for XBWell specifically. Okay. looking at all apps, finding XBWell, making sure that the notifications for the XBWell app are on. Okay, so let's do both. Enable notifications on the phone, enable notifications on that specific app. Speaking of notifications, it's pretty important. Look at what they look like. So on an iPhone, they're big. On an Android, they're tiny. And so it's these two little small interlocking circles, intersecting circles. Just keep in mind how small this notification will be. Here's another picture. This is the XBWell notification symbol. Now notice if you swipe down on it, you're going to see a larger version. But it does look pretty small. You'll get used to it after a couple days or so. But just keep in mind what they look like. Next, we need to check those battery saver settings. For some reason, battery saving settings interfere with this app. So we want to make sure optimal battery and all the other saving, options are off, which means you probably have to, charge the phone overnight to keep battery power. All right, so now you should be at this page. Also keep in mind, you can rewatch this video, at any time. We will give you the link. And so if you're at this page, you need to enter an access code. This is the access code for this study. Let's give you a minute to do that. So while you're doing this, okay, so this is what the study looks like when it's added. You're going to see Alcohol Daily Life Study. Very straightforward. So click on this. Then you'll see one of two screens, kind of depending on your phone. You might already see the calendar. So if you see the calendar, you can click on today, whatever today is, and you'll see what's available or what's happening today. In this case, you'll see a demo survey, and it will be available because it's available until 11:59 today, the day you've started the study. Once it's completed, let's pretend this is the same day, that'll turn to a gray complete, by the way, if you want to click on it later and check. Sometimes it'll send you to the calendar. Other times it'll just start the survey like this. Okay, if this screen comes up, you just press the start button. If that doesn't come up automatically, you would click on the green available button on the calendar, and then you would get to this page. All right, so I'm not going to talk you through the individual questions. If you have questions about that, send me a text or email. Send us a text or email. I'm just going to go over the 4 most frequently asked questions while you complete the survey. So the first question we get for this and other studies is, why 0 to 100? Why so many surveys? Well, the short answer is this allows our system to create the personalized feedback reports. So we're not creating this by hand. This is created statistically. Let's think about why this is important. So let's say Camden drinks some alcohol. We want to know about Camden's life. This is the old way of doing research. We send Camden a survey. The questions range from 1 to 5 or 1 to 7. Let's say we're asking Camden, how distressed are you? Or how much pleasure will you have in the future? Let's say Camden happens to be on vacation, okay, visiting grandmother in Florida, and completes the survey. That's the old way of doing research. Again, the old way. This is the new way. This is the new way. So we asked Camden about a number of contexts in Camden's life. So when we're asking questions like, how distressed are you? Or how much pleasure do you think you'll have in the next few hours? Camden may be on internship. In an office that doesn't look at the beach, or at work, or stuck in traffic, or cramming for an exam. Might be back from vacation in Florida in a place where it's cold. And again, the new way of doing research, we have more nuance for these questions because they range from 1 to 100 to really capture differences across those contexts. So this is the way we can really understand what Camden's days and really what Camden's life is like. This doesn't give us a very clear picture. The second question we get a lot of the time is, what do the time frames mean for the 2 questions? I think all the questions begin either with right now or since the last survey. Right now is right before you open the survey. So whatever you were doing then, you're talking to a friend, notice the notification. You just got out of the car, you noticed the notification, so write that. Since the last survey is since the last survey you completed. So if you missed the last survey, that happens. Think back to the last one that you completed. The third question we get is some variation of what do I put if the question seems like it doesn't apply. So we give everyone the same questions, regardless of what your previous answers are. So a couple of the questions will say, since the last survey when I drank. If you drank in between your surveys, it's very relevant. What to put if you didn't drink? Well, ideally, you put a 0 or 1, whatever the question allows. If it's too hard to, maneuver your finger to select exactly a 0 and a 1, you can put within the 1 to 5 range. If you can, please try to put a 0 or 1 for that. Same thing for the question about thinking about suicide here. So it's one of those questions where you can't put a 0. Try to put as close to it as possible. So if you can't put a 0, it's ideally a 1. But if not, we'll take 1 to 5 for those questions. The fourth and final question people ask is, what do we mean by a drink? Since the last survey I drank, blank number of drinks. Well, scientists have answered this question for us, and basically what they've said is just because it fits in a drinking container does not mean it's one drink. So let's talk beer, wine, and other liquors. So beer, 12 ounce, which is your regular, standard container of beer, at a 5% level is one drink. So that means if you have a unusually large can or bottle of beer, or if you have something that's, let's say, 9% alcohol, that's going to be more than one drink. For wine, 5 ounces is a glass of wine. So if you have a different container, let's say you fill a solo cup completely full of wine, that's going to be more like 15 ounces of liquid in there. So that would be 3 glasses of wine. For liquor, it depends. 1.5 fluid ounces. 1 shot is 1 drink. Now, a lot of mixed drinks are made with 2 shots, sometimes 3 shots. So you have to know how many shots are in each drink. So you'll want to check on that. They'll still fit in the same glass, but it might be multiple drinks in the one glass. But just being mindful of that. Now let's cover just a few helpful tips from us about the study. Here is the main tip. Please use the entire range, 0 to 100, when answering the questions. We want to capture even small changes throughout the day. Hey, this is very important to us. So please avoid using 100 if you can. Avoid using 0 unless we're at a true extreme. Okay, so for example, consider maybe instead of 100, you're actually at a 97 or 98 right in that moment. That's why the questions, a lot of them say right now or since the last survey, so right in those few hours there. It's a meaningful difference if, let's say, you anticipate that the next few hours you'll be at an 83 out of 100 in terms of how pleasurable that time will be, versus if later on in the day you say 89. I expect the next few hours will be at an 89 level of pleasure out of 100. That is a small difference, but it is a meaningful difference, and it's exactly those meaningful differences that will help our system generate your personalized feedback with the greatest accuracy and make it be the most reliable, right? Which is why we're doing this study. We want to be as reliable as we can. Another tip, when you open the survey, just keep moving through it. Don't worry about the questions too much, or don't mull over the questions for too long. Please don't just keep the survey open and pause it. If a survey stays open for a really long time, I can't count it. I have no idea what's happening. Just keep moving through the survey at a normal rate. Trust your gut. This is not a half an hour long survey. Okay, this is a 2 minute, maybe max at the beginning, 3.5 minute survey. Okay, and then finally reach out if you have a question. No need to wait and try to figure it all out. Let's finally wrap up by looking at a few screenshots in the XBOL app, really getting to know the app there. So remember your calendar screen whenever you open the study. If there's a blue dot, Each day with a blue dot means there's something scheduled. So you can see what it is by scrolling down. Scrolling down, you see what was scheduled. In this case, everything is scheduled because this is the day in the future, the time that screenshot was taken. This shows a more regular day. We missed a survey. The survey is available right now. We've got some surveys scheduled in the future. You can see the different colors. Remember, gray means completed. We already saw that one. Also, you probably won't need this, but in the upper right-hand corner of every screen is a little bell. You can always click on it to see your notifications. So for example, you can see that around 3, you got a notification for the second survey. It was available for 45 minutes. Then you didn't complete it in 10 minutes, so there's a little reminder notification. So if you want to check out your most recent notifications, which I doubt you'll need to, but the bell is there for you. And we'll wrap up here with our contact information. Again, please reach out. Text is probably quicker with any questions that you have. And enjoy the study. This is a study where I think we've tried to make it as streamlined as possible. And it will take a little bit of time, but we hope your time is appropriately compensated. And so get in touch with any questions. Thank you.